Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 101. Tesla continues to dominate in Europe even before the local factory opens. And the Tesla Model 3 became the second best-selling car in the UK in 2021. And Tesla will deliver 15 Tesla semi-trucks this month. And Tesla is using the 4680 cells. And the Tesla Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai will expand with 20% this year. And GM is getting beaten by Toyota in the US. And GM reveals a new EV and says they will win the race for autonomy. There's just nothing that GM will not lead. It's amazing. All this and much more on today's episode. So let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
The plug-in market is rising fast and Tesla is leading away. Yes, Tesla's earnings call is coming up in a couple of weeks with a record-breaking numbers, and 2 new factories is about to open. So yeah, we could expect a lot of great news for Tesla in this first month of 2022 and will probably affect Tesla stock quite a bit. But as we have been talking about before here on this channel, through all of 2021, Tesla was really doing very well in Europe, and we still don't have all the numbers yet, but Tesla sales numbers for Europe in 2021 are still rising as more countries make their numbers available. And Tesla is only 7,000 units from the Volkswagen brand to become the best-selling brand in Europe in 2021. Last I checked, they were about 12,000 away, so they are still gaining. But we also know Tesla had an absolutely slam dunk of a Q4, and December was a very big month. In the United Kingdom, for example, the Tesla Model 3 was the best-selling EV in 2021 by far, just as we have seen it is combined in Europe. But in the UK, the number 2 is even further away from the Tesla Model 3, with only 36% of the sales of the Tesla Model 3. What a power demonstration for Tesla before the new factory opens here. They already have 36% of the BEV market in the UK in December. Just amazing. And in December, it was also the best-selling car by far, not EV, but car, and sold more than twice of the number 2 spot. And as you can see, the combined sale of 2021 in the UK, the Tesla Model 3 was the second best-selling car of any kind. Wow, so EVs are really starting to kick off in the UK, and it's already a quarter of the car market in 2021. They sold more EVs in 2021 in the UK than all the previous 5 years combined, according to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. They doubled their BEV market share from 2020 to 2021. Do you see the trend here on this chart from all of Europe? And we don't even have all the numbers yet for 2021, but still the trend is pretty clear. This is the beginning of an S-curve, and a steep one. About 2.5 million EVs in Europe in 2021, and Tesla is about to open phase 1 of the factory that will produce 500,000 cars when ramped up. This is a big number. That is 20% of all the EVs sold in 2021 in Europe. And the Tesla Model 3 even ended up the year as the best-selling EV in Germany. No wonder Volkswagen is afraid of Tesla's new factory in Grünheide. And the trend is the same in countries all around Europe. In France, also about a quarter of the car market is now plug-in in December. In Sweden, they were at 60% in December, and the Model Y was, of course, the best-selling EV, and the Tesla Model 3 became the best-selling car of any kind in Switzerland in all of 2021. Amazing. And Norway is of course leading the way with 90% plug-in market share in December, with the full year of 2021 plug-in share was 86.2%, so very close to the 90% that many predicted in 2020 that it would be in Norway in 2021, including Volkswagen themselves. So yes, Norway have so far set the ban of new ICE car sales to 2025, but we will probably already see the ICE car completely disappearing this year, 3 years earlier. And in Norway we have a new king, and that is the Tesla Model Y. In December we can see that the number 1 and number 2 spot went to the Tesla Model Y and the Tesla Model 3, and then there was all the rest way down below. But we also hear about how fast Norway has gone electric, and yes, they have been the first movers, but as I've shown before, Norway's quick transition to EVs is going to look slow compared to many other places. Just look at this chart of the sales of plug-in vehicles in Norway. It is actually just a nice straight line upwards, not an S-curve. But then look at my country, for example, here in Denmark. We have just increased the plug-in sales 5x over the last 2 years. But as I showed earlier, Europe has 2.5x our BEV sales over the last 2 years. And we don't have all the numbers yet, but the global plug-in sales of 2021 should reach over 6.4 million vehicles as were predicted. So EV volumes forecast here from the middle of 2021 ended up being very accurate. Plug-in vehicle market doubled in 2021, and it will only speed up from here on out. This is not a linear adoption. This will be an S-curve. Or let me put it in another way. It is happening in an S-curve right now. Remember, it is not just one side going up. We will also have a collapse on the other side in an S-curve as well. Just look at this updated chart from Robert that I have shown before, but because of the EV sale has been so strong since September, he had made 2 new S-curves that is going even faster because the collapse of the ICE car and the rise of EVs is happening faster than the 2 first S-curves he put in. And he even put the hybrids in the ICE charts as well. So the green you see rising up there like crazy is only BEVs. Yes, the transition is not happening in 5 years or 10 years like GM think it is. We are in it right now, and it will happen crazy fast. I know many YouTubers are offering 2 free stocks, but I got the best deal for you. If you live in the US, Hong Kong or China, get 5 free stock valued up to $3,500 each. Yes, you won't get a much better deal than that. Who don't want 5 free stocks, right? Well, you can do that with MooMoo online trading platform if you sign up with my link down below. That will also support the channel. So a win-win for the both of us. If you don't live in the US, Hong Kong or China, you can still download the MooMoo app as I have done, because this is a professional trading platform, so you will have all the information you could possibly want about stocks, drawing tools, communities, news and much more. It is a very impressive and capable app they have made there, so go check that one out. This will not support the show, but you will get a great professional app for keeping an eye on the stock you follow. Enjoy. Their self-proclaimed leader in the EV race, GM, that is not currently selling any EVs, also got beaten on their own turf at their own game of ICE cars by the Japanese. GM did, as expected, fall in sales in 2021. In the US, GM sold 2.2 million cars, and only like 1% of them were actually EVs from this leader in the EV race, because in Q4 of 2021, GM sold, hold on, 26 electric cars. Not 26,000, 26 electric cars, one of those cars being the Hummer EV that cost $2.5 million. So GM sold in Q4 of 2021 about 0.01% of the EVs Tesla sold in Q4. Or put it another way, in Q4 of 2021, Tesla produced an EV every 34 seconds, or Tesla produced more EVs in 12 minutes in December than GM did in all of December. What a leader in the EV race. But Anyway, in 2020, GM sold 2.5 million, and in 2019 they sold 2.9 million. So GM's downward trend over the last 6 years continues, but worse than that, GM just got beaten by Toyota in the US. Toyota sold 2.3 million in the US in Q4. That is the first time in GM's history they are not the best-selling car company in the US. Ouch. It is of course all blamed on semiconductors and supply chain issues, even though the trend of GM has been pretty clear for half a decade. But Toyota did manage the chip shortage a bit better than GM, and as we can see, Toyota actually managed to grow a tiny bit in 2021 globally, and that tiny amount was enough to make them the biggest car company in the US in 2021. But Toyota did also struggle in the US, even though they beat GM. Their Toyota Corolla was down 55.9% year-over-year in Q4. Well, that is not good for Toyota, because that is the car Tesla is aiming for with the Tesla Model Y to become the best-selling car in the world by revenue in 2022 and by units in 2023. But maybe Toyota will help Tesla along to already become the best-selling car in the world by units this year if the Toyota Corolla sales numbers continue to drop like this. And as you can see, everyone else did fall in size in 2021, well, except that big blue column over there on the right called Tesla. That did grow 87%. And in Q4, GM fell 43% to post-bankruptcy low. Not looking too good for GM, and we learned that GM had 199,662 vehicles in dealers inventory, including in transit, up 55% at the end of Q4 compared to the levels in the third quarter. So chip shortages or not, they do produce cars, but a lot of them are just sitting on the dealer's lot. And meanwhile, Tesla grew 70% year-over-year in Q4. Well, if these trends continues throughout this year, Tesla and GM sales number could pass each other already this year. But hopefully, GM can put a stop to their drop in their sales numbers, because nobody is stopping Tesla's growth in their sales numbers. But GM did make a big reveal this week with a lot of new stuff. And one of them being the Silverado EV. Looks a bit like the Ford F-150 Lightning, and they have made a copy of Ford's frunk from the F-150, but it's still a very cool frunk, so that is all good. But it's going to be a very versatile truck that looks to be a very cool pickup, and with GM estimated range of 400 miles, well, that would be very good if GM's estimated is close to EPA or at least WLTP, but as the Hummer, the price is the deal breaker. The fully loaded version will set you back $105,000, and of course whatever the dealership is going to try to push on you when you go to the dealership to buy it. But they did also say that just like the Ford, they will come out with a $40,000 version of this truck, but of course no specification on that truck, and will not come out before 2024. But it will probably not be that good when a fully loaded one costed $105,000, and for them to drop the price $65,000, they really have to strip down the car to its bare minimum. So I don't expect much from that $40,000 version, but they was of course forced to come out with a $40,000 version because Tesla made a $40,000 Cybertruck, and that forced Ford to make a $40,000 F-150, and then GM of course had to follow through with a $40,000 Silverado, or they would just look very, very expensive. But unfortunately, nothing of all they showed is coming this year. It will all start in 2023. So Mary Barra did name all the EVs they had coming and said no other car maker could match that EV lineup. Well, the problem is you don't have any EV lineup yet. You have a Bolt that has all been recalled and is not being produced, and you have delivered one Hummer EV so far. So to say you are leading the way again because you're showing off a lot of concept cars that are coming out in the future, well then everyone could be the leader in the EV race. Talk is cheap, can't wait to actually start seeing some EVs from GM on the road that we can actually get excited about in an amount that actually matters. But if they, as they said, could come with a fully autonomous vehicle in 2025, well, that would be very exciting. But they of course have to stay alive until 2025, and the trend is not looking very good. And don't look like they have a lot of units of EVs out before then, but just a lot of different models. Like the Cadillac Lyric that they will only make 1,500 of in 2023, so that's not really going to change anything. But GM can of course count that as yet another EV model. And just like Ford, the Silverado EV could make a big Osborne effect on the sales of their ICE versions, since this seems to be a very good EV pickup truck that is much better than what GM offers as an ICE version. And it doesn't come out until over a year from now. But we will see how it goes, and we will also see how this will age, that GM will be the first to capture the autonomous space before anyone else.
And while they are concepts, our path to autonomy is comprehensive and very real. In short, we believe GM and Cruise have the technology, expertise, and scale to capture both the advanced driver assist and driverless AV market opportunities before anyone else.
Well, with her lying about them leading the EV race in the US, it is just hard to believe anything she says anymore. But time will, of course, always tell. But still, it will be exciting to see if they can actually start to do more walking, because so far it is all talking. They talk like they are making nothing but EVs and will start spitting them out in the millions soon. But then at the LA Auto show at the end of last year, they showed only ICE cars. So I still need to see something happen to change my mind that GM is not going bankrupt again. But unfortunately, we don't really get a lot from them this year, other than hopefully they will start the production of the Bolt again, and it will be exciting to see if they can actually produce more than 25,000 of these cars in this year, and hopefully we will very soon see some real production and deliveries to customers of the EV Hummer. But the worst thing is though, they are all still made with pouch cells. So we will see how well all of this will play out, because Elon has been warning GM and Ford about pouch cells before. And we have some more expansion at the Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai. Like that factory weren't moving fast enough already. Tesla's workforce expansion at the Gigafactory Shanghai in China will grow the electric automaker's new model production area, whatever that is, by 50%, or about 3,000 employees. When the expansion is complete, Tesla will employ 19,000 workers at the facility. What a monster this factory is becoming, and the expansion project began in December and is expected to be complete by April this year. So Tesla will increase this monster of a factory by almost 20% by April this year. That is just nuts. So what is the new model production area? It is probably just the new Model Y production line they are referring to put even more Model Ys out there, and not the new compact Chinese model. No matter what it is very exciting that this factory that has just been killing it in 2021 will grow one of its production line by 50% and the entire factory by almost 20%. Wow, Gigafactory 3 is not done growing and ramping up. That 1 million run rate looks more and more likely already at the end of 2022. Remember, they already have an annual production run rate of close to 800,000 when we look at the December numbers, when that factory produced about 65,000 units. So we have some great news about the Tesla semi-truck. We heard last year that Pepsi would get the first 5 semi-trucks delivered, but that did not happen. But after Drive Tesla received these photos, they were able to confirm one of their sources that Pepsi has been told to expect to receive all 15 Tesla semis before the end of January. Tesla has been manufacturing them since early December at the Giga Nevada, and 2 brand new semis were spotted outside the factory this week, and they are supposed to be delivered with the 4680 cell as well. Oh yes, like I said before, this is why Tesla semi-truck and Cybertruck is delayed, because they will have to have the 4680 cells. and the rest of Tesla vehicles that will be using the other batteries will not be battery constrained in 2022, since Tesla will have access to twice the amount in 2022 than in 2021. But it will be so exciting to see the first products from Tesla with the 4680 cells. This is getting so exciting. January is going to be just the perfect start for Tesla in 2022. And Drive Tesla also got these pictures of the mega chargers being installed at Pepsi's facility. And according to the information provided by Drive Tesla, the mega chargers will actually charge with up to 1.5 megawatts. 50% higher than original estimated. So 1,500 kilowatts chargers. Now that is fast. I still hope that the Cybertruck will be able to pull up to a mega charger and utilize some of all of that power. Remember, Tesla would not tell us how much the Cybertruck would be able to charge with, and Elon said at the semi-truck reveal that Tesla would build an electric pickup truck that would just be a smaller version of their semi-truck. So hopefully it will also have some of the same charging technology in it, but that could of course also just be me dreaming a bit too much. No matter what, it will just be so exciting to start to see the semi-truck drive around and hear more about this crazy truck. And let's take a combined look at the Gigafactories, because I am now collaborating with Brian from My Tesla Weekend that has been so kind to send me a weekly update about the Gigafactories so I can put it into this new show every week. So let's take a look at what Brian had to say.
Giga Shanghai has been busy at work on the expansion of the southwest corner, with foundation work seemingly completed. An awful lot of new steel erected all the way to the west perimeter of the structure, and quite a bit more roofing has been added. Giga Texas has seen grading in what may become the loading and logistics lot, as well as asphalt along this area, suggesting expansion isn't happening yet. Grading work continues elsewhere around the site, and while concrete pours continue, the big news is that the solar panels are being installed. In Berlin, the biggest news is that the new concrete pours in the 4680 production area are continuing, with staging of a lot more concrete elements ready for installation. The main entry of the building is well underway, it's looking good, it's inched along nicely, but the biggest news here is the appearance of produced Models Y, some with colors you never seen before.
Thank you so much, Brian, for the update. If you are not following Brian, you should. I will leave a link to his channel down below. So yes, the Giga Berlin is getting ready to produce and deliver its first Tesla Model Ys. And as Alex also shared on Twitter, a German Model Y performance reservation holder informed him that he was contacted by Tesla to prepare for delivery in 2 weeks to the end of the month. And the Tesla Model Y performance has already been produced at Giga Berlin, but not shipped from Shanghai. And we did see some smoke coming out of the factory, so we do know it's alive and producing cars, as Tesla also got permission to produce 2,000 bodies instead of only the 250 they had. Not something they can sell to customers though, but I think we are getting really close now. So oh yeah, let the games begin. 2022 will be an insane year, and January seems to kickstart it very well. And we know that Elon is ready for 2022, the year of the tiger. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Firstly, Elon just hit 69 million followers. Nice. And SpaceX did another Starlink mission this week and deployed another 49 Starlink satellites with lasers. And the first stage, of course, landed safely back on the drone ship, first landing of many to come here in 2022. And that was also SpaceX 101 landing of the Falcon 9 rocket in my news show, number 101. What a simulation. And SpaceX also shared at the launch that now there are over 145,000 users of Starlink in 25 countries. Just amazing. And Bloomberg had another article about how Volkswagen and Toyota are coming for Tesla by investing combined $170 billion to stay at the top of the car market. But what they're forgetting is that all the money in the world is not going to solve the transition for them. They have to become a software company and change the whole way they make cars and make innovation to stay relevant. So if they can't attract the best talent in the world to help them to become all of that, no amount of money is going to save them. And James shared on Twitter this little chart of UK EV adoption. And as you can see, this little tiny sliver in 2019 has now taken over a quarter of the whole pie. And pretty easy to see who's leading the green transformation in the UK. And who's number 2? I don't know, I can't read it because it's too small. And Chrysler wants to go all electric by 2018, so that is great, but it sounds better than it is because they only make about 130,000 Chrysler branded cars per year in 2019. The Chrysler brand only sold 126,972 vehicles, and in 2020 110,000. So they only need to produce about 100,000 EVs to be fully electric, and they expect that to take 7 years. So if they just ramp up about 15,000 EVs per year, they will get there. So great they're going all electric, but I think they could be a bit more aggressive on this timeline. After releasing its 2021.44.30 software update for the Tesla Model S Plaid that will bring track mode to the beast, Tesla has also increased the top speed of the electric sedan as well. That was limited to 163 miles per hour, but now we can do 175 miles per hour. Mercedes-Benz has informed owners of its luxury car of a technical defect that could spark a fire. But adding a recall was not possible because parts needed to fix the problem are not available. Oh, that's not good. And in the letter Mercedes sent out to over 800,000 users, they also said, in the meantime, the affected vehicles should be driven in a particularly prudent manner and usage reduced to a bare minimum. Yeah, and Tesla is the one that's being hated on with pure build quality. But Mercedes-Benz also unveiled a new camper version of the EQV electric van to create an all-electric van life experience. Very nice. And Opel or Vauxhall, depending on where you live, just made a range boost to their 2 EVs. But the Mokka-E's range went up from 201 miles to 209 miles WLTP, while the Corsa E range went from 209 miles to 222 miles. Wow, amazing how low the range is of those EVs. Come on, Opel, we need a bigger range boost than that. And Nikola dropped the $2 billion patent lawsuit against Tesla semi-truck. No, really? What a surprise! We have seen Sony build an EV prototype before and showed off a new one at CES this year, the Sony Vision S, but now Sony has established a new electric vehicle company. Sony said that it would launch a new company, Sony Mobility Incorporated, in the spring of 2022, through which it intends to explore entry into the electric vehicle market. And as Sawyer pointed out, if you can't drive the car with a PlayStation controller, I'm going to be very disappointed. But Sony has a long way to go before we get a chance to see this car in real life. And we saw another example of Tesla being many steps ahead of everybody else, as they have secured a deal with Australian miner Syrah Resources to supply battery-ready graphite to Tesla. While the others are trying to make partnership like Tesla did with Panasonic half a decade ago, Tesla is going straight for the mines now and will get the materials that are needed. Tesla is just so many steps ahead and the others don't even realize it. If you haven't bought the full self-driving package already, this might be a good time because Elon tweeted that the full self-driving will rise in price from $10,000 to $12,000. And I agree with Ray for Tesla here. It is probably a good sign of Tesla's confidence of a wider release here in 2022. Ooh, I sure hope so. And Joe Justice just did yet another interview, but this time with the former Tesla employee Facade that we have talked about before here on this channel. And if you haven't seen that one yet, I can highly recommend that video. But again, Joe and Facade are talking about Tesla's speed of innovation, because as two former employees of Tesla, they have both tried it, and that is still what is the most mind-blowing thing about Tesla, the pace of innovation. And like Joe said, when you have tried that, every other company feels like they are moving in slow motion. As Elon said, pace of innovation is all that matters. And BMW showed off a car at the CES that can change color on the go. And we got to see it live as well. Now, that's pretty cool. And Ford warns dealers taking advantage of the Ford F-150 Lightning reservation holders about adding the $30,000 that if they do, Ford will not deliver any Ford F-150 to them. Unfortunately, I don't think there are much they can do about it, but it is nice to see Ford trying to do something about the dealership problem, and maybe it is the first step in a bigger movement if the dealers don't listen. And the Tesla Model S goes 752 miles with a prototype battery from Michigan startup called ONE. Stands for Our Next Energy. This was of course just a test and mega proof of concept, so they will have a long way to go to have a battery ready for the mass market and producing at scale. As Elon says, prototypes are easy. And Tesla Solar shared this great picture of their solar roof producing clean power for this family's home and their Tesla Model X. Nice. And Tesla finally shared some information about their new power plant in Texas, which will build out of 81 megapacks, and it will support the grid, lower the energy cost, and keep the lights on if the grid should go down again, as we saw in 2021. And before we end up with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my new patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Robert Bess, Greg Waldo, James Weekle, Sean Labrosse, Mike McKelvey, Greg Kelford, Jack Otterson, Richard Kensey, Errol David, Hillisner, Philip, Thor Smittermonsen. And I thank you for watching, members: Will Cooper, Florencio Villa, Keith Lomack, James Wilson, John Gloria, Martin Bushika. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week. And this week's winner is Alex Mask. I don't know if he's in the Mask family, but Alex has been a patron and a member of mine for almost a year. And I did also see your support on my last recent live show with Dr. Know-It-All, so I feel so humbled and so thankful for all the support you do, Alex. Thank you so much. You don't have to send me an email because you are a Patreon, so I will contact you on Patreon for all your contact details, so I can send you your free t-shirt or mug of your choice. You can go in on my merch store to check it all out. And let's end off with a bit of fun. That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.